Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to level the deck on the Zero Turn. I am also going to try jacking it up. There are zerks on the spindles for the blades. I'm going to try to get those greased as well, and I believe change the oil. But the biggest thing right now is an uneven cut. I'm not sure if it's my daughter cuts the grass, Natalie, and this is just, it's gouging really bad to a point where it's cutting into the dirt here and there, not just on like going over a hump or something, but it's cutting into the dirt on just even slightly uneven ground. I had filled the tires, they were exact, so it wasn't tire pressure. So now I'm going to have to, I'm going to do a full check on the heights of the blades and stuff and get this dialed in and see if that helps. So first thing I got to do is get this on a, I have these two birds, they must have a nest in here. They're telling me to get out. First thing I have to do is get this on a nice flat surface, which I have over in the shed, so let's get that done. It's bone dry. Okay, she's on a nice level surface. Now we need to fill the back tires to the exact pressure so that we don't have any oddities there. And because these front casters are on a swivel, you want to make sure that they are both facing forward like that. All right, let's check them tires. Okay, these tires need to be inflated to 22 pounds. Let's see what they're at. They are at 22, exactly. All right, let's check the other one. That's a good sign. And And gotta kind of zoom in on this. Just a bazillimeter less. That's 22. All right. Tires are good. Now let's measure the blades. Okay, hopefully I'm gonna be able to do this, or film it at least. What I gotta do is measure the tip of the blade, turn the outside two blades so that they're in line like this, and then measure the distance between the tip of the blade and the ground. And they should both be equal. Otherwise, you need to adjust right here, up or down. So let me try to get those measured, and then we'll adjust it front to back. Okay, what I'm doing is putting clear plastic. I guess it doesn't have to be clear plastic, but that's what I have. Got this in the way. I'm putting a plastic ruler up to the blade. It's really hard to work with this. There's no room to get under here. I'm putting a ruler up to the blade right near the tip, and then I'm going to there's no way to see under there. I don't have a little mirror or anything, so I have to just mark it with my finger. I tried it before and I came with 3 3/8. So let's see if I get that again. Three and a quarter is what I'm coming up with. I'm going to try to find a mirror so I can see it standing in place. This deck really needs to be cleaned. It has a deck cleaner, but those things don't work. Yeah, it's filthy under there. Alright, I'm going to try it again. If you have a better way of doing this, please let me know. I don't have a big table or something I can drive this up onto. So this is pretty much all I can do. You have to measure from the ground up to the blade. Well, that was useless. Let me try this again. Alright, I've come up with a solution here. What I'm doing is getting the blade on the ground, or the ruler on the ground, and just making a nick in it. This is a real cheap throwaway ruler. Okay, I made my little scratches on here. Let me see if I can, maybe if I put my finger over them, get this thing to focus. It probably won't, but it is just above 3 1/4. So now let's check the other side. This side is dramatically easier. And this side is definitely higher. So I'm going to adjust these until they're both at that mark. So this needs to come down about 1/4 of an inch. Unfortunately, I can reach it. The nut is right back here. I should be able to reach it right through here and see what I'm doing. All right, let me grab a wrench for that. The correct wrench for this is a 15 millimeter. And this needs to go down, so I'm going to be loosening it. Okay, it's level side to side, dead on. This blade fits right in that little notch I made in here. I've never done it this way, but I'll do it this way every time now. You could probably get these for 50 cents at the dollar store. And I don't know, you could probably use it twice. All right, now the front measurement. Some mowers say to do it on the middle blade, and the instructions on this mower says to do it on the outside, so that's what I'm going to do. It's real easy to measure the front one, but this back one is way up in here, so I'm going to have to do the same thing that I did with the other measurement. I'll put a notch in the little ruler and then check it against the front. The blade is supposed to tilt down in the front 1/8 to 1/4 inch, so this should be pretty easy to check. Okay, it was 3.5 on the back, and on the front it is 2.5. So it's a full inch down in the front, which is incorrect. The front, it has to come up. It's way tilted. So I'm going to get that done. There's an adjustment on the front there, and I'll get that front up a little higher. All right, this is where the adjustment happens, but this is where you do the adjustment, right up front here. So I need to turn this clockwise to raise the deck. What it's going to do is shorten the length of this bolt, because it'll go through this this threaded part right here, raise the deck up. So I need to go about a 1/2 inch, and that looks like that's 15 millimeters as well, but I'll let you know. Okay, it is indeed 15 millimeters. So let's just see what this is doing here. It is lifting it up. All right, I'm gonna go see how much that lifted it up. You just gotta remember to measure front and back every time. We want the front to come up about a 1/2 inch, but the back is going down at the same time. So I have to go make a new notch from the back and test it that way. But for now, I'm just gonna see if it has changed at all. And it does not appear to have changed. Maybe that's 14 millimeter. Let's try that. Okay, my bad. It is 14 millimeter. That one was probably 14 millimeter as well. And I have about an 1/8 inch of thread there. Gonna need a good deal more. Okay, let's go test it. All right, I had to run to the house to double check on the dimensions, and it says between the front and the back, it should be 1/8 to 1/2 inch difference. It should be a little bit lower in the front, and I believe I am right near there, but I'm gonna get a mark. It's right there. Get a mark on this and then do it on the back. Kind of hard to tell where it's marking. Thought that would work. Okay, if I were to do this again, I wouldn't even use a measuring stick. Just a piece of wood is fine. You can make a really nice mark in it like that, and then you can just take a tape measure and measure to it. So this is the results of raising it. We are at 3 3/8 to the bottom, and it's a 1/2 inch up to the next one. That's at the max. They want it between 1/8 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch difference between the front and the back. So this is as big of a gap as you can have, and I'd like to get it a little bit less than that. So I'm going to crank this a few more times, and then I'll check it on the other side. Then I can flip this over. This is a marker for the gardens, and it can still be used for that. So let me crank it a little bit and then test it again, and it should be good to go. Okay, and here is the new test, and it comes to 1/4 of an inch, which is right where I want to be. 1/4 of an inch or 5/16 would have did it, but that's perfect. Now I'm going to double check the side to side and do any fine adjustments with that if needed. And here's what I got on the side by side. 3/8 of an inch off. Yeah, you can do a lot easier testing with a wood stick like this. I'm glad I thought of that. Okay, I'm going to adjust it side to side until these are exactly the same, and then we should be good to go. Sixteenth of an inch. Little bit more. It's going right in the same slot. That's perfect. Okay, for the record, the side adjustments are 15 millimeter and that front is 14 millimeter. I believe that's the way it went. And you don't necessarily need to take off this front plate, but if you want to see what you're doing, probably a good idea. I'm going to blow this thing out and jack it up, and there's grease zerks underneath the deck here. I'm going to get it greased, and I'm going to change the oil on it, but this has already taken way too long, so I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. Everything is dead perfect on this, so if we get a bad cut now, it means there's a bent blade. Natalie hit a piece of wood and got it caught in here, but I took all the blades off last year right after that happened, and they all were dead flat, and it cut pretty good right after that. Not perfect, but pretty good. But I've never adjusted the deck on this before, and the deck was quite a bit off, especially in the front. It was dipped way down, but it was tipped to the side too, so it was, you know, all diddly wampus in there. Good, good, good. Well, hopefully it won't gouge the heck out of the lawn anymore. I also found out how far off the height adjustments are. You'll hear people online say, well, those are just numbers. They're not an actual height. But it says 4 inches. It doesn't just say 4. So if it says 4 inches, this should be 4 inches off the ground. That's not so. I'm going to check to see what the difference is between the set height and the actual blade height, just for us to know it. But I don't need to show that here. So if you want to see the oil change and the greasing of the spindles, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.